Anyway, John, anybody can do this business, regardless of how crazy and chaotic your world is, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share with you guys a little bit about whether you're brand new and you're listening to this because you're learning how to get started, or say you've been here for a while and you're listening, for tips, right? And because we like to learn from each other, I'm going to go over what it looks like to onboard and launch. Okay. And the reason I really wanted to share this is, check this out, you guys. It's been 2 years since I've done one of these. I didn't even realize that, but it's been 2 years since I did a getting started call. And I was pretty new when I got here and did my first one. I remember being a little shaky and a little concerned because I was going to talk in front of all you guys, right? 2 years ago. And I shared what our system looked like. Now, here's the thing. 2 years later, the content of our system hasn't changed because it works, right? It's literally been tried and true, and it absolutely works. So we have not changed the system, but I've changed the emphasis when I'm onboarding someone. Because it used to be, I would get up and, in front of somebody. So we in our team, we do a lot of welcome Zooms, and not everybody does them, but for us, we like to teach the system through this one-on-one. Let's go ahead and connect. I want to meet you. I want to see your face. I want to know who you are. Because guess what? When you do that, you get invested in their story. And then on top of that, they feel like they know you and they can reach out and they can build connectivity. So I really do like the one-on-one that we have on Zooms. Not everybody does them, but that is how we have always onboarded from day one. And so when we used to do them, we would get on and we would just, introduce each other if we hadn't already met. And then we would just go ahead and we would go through the system and go through every single little detail of it. Okay. And we would just break it down. And, it was, 30, 40 minutes of us explaining that. Don't worry, guys, I'm not doing that today. I'm not, because the system is readily available for everybody to see, right? The system, and I'll briefly go over what that is for those of you that are new, but that's there for you. And I feel like when we get onto a call or we're doing a training, I don't know about you guys, I do have, a little adult onset ADD, but I can only listen to so much. I can only hear so much and absorb so much, especially if it's factual stuff. If somebody's and you do this and you do that, pretty soon, you guys remember Charlie Brown and the teacher with wah, 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 that's all I hear is it just doesn't, it's okay, I'm spent for the day. All I can hear, it's done. And so that's one of the reasons that I changed the emphasis of onboarding from here is the system, here's how you do it, here's every little detail. Because you know what? It was just words. It just became words really quickly. And I didn't feel like people were actually retaining any of it. But you know what people do retain? I'm going to steal one out of Judy and Chris's book. It's always about how you make someone feel. Okay. People remember how you make them feel. They're not going to remember, 45 minutes of explaining a system, but they're going to remember how you made them feel. And so the emphasis for me has changed from, like I said, the system to let's get to know these people. Let's dig a little bit deeper. Let's go ahead and find out what their driver is, who they are, and what they want to accomplish here. And that's the stuff for me as an entrepreneur, watching people start to share about their dreams, to get all excited about that, to watch them. I mean, you guys, I've had a lot of tears on these Zooms because you get people talking about the things that light their fire, that get them going. And a lot of times they're going to start crying, right? You've touched something here when the tears start to come because you are reaching into these people's soul and helping them dig out their calling. Oh man, you guys, that's so powerful. That's so powerful. So for those of you that have a team and you're growing and everything, that is the key, in my opinion, to a successful launch. The system is there. We can always teach it to them, but are you spurring up that belief in what they can do here? Are you getting that fire going of what is possible, not just for, not for other people, but for them, because they have to be able to see and feel what this looks like for them. Anybody can figure out what to do here if they've got the drive and they've got the desire, and they'll fail forward if they can grab onto their calling, their why, and they can run for it. That is the single most important thing. And if you think about it, for those of you that are here, that's what keeps you going. Now, here's the thing. If you guys are new and you're listening to this, that's what I want to talk to you about right now. I want you to take a moment, right? And I always start with like, tell me who you are. I want to know more about you. Tell me about your family, and obviously the condensed version, because I like to keep them about 30 minutes or less. And then, tell me about your product experience. Okay. So that's what I always start with. But then I flip it into what attracted you to this business. So for those of you that are new, obviously, I would love it if we could unmute, we could all share, but obviously for time's sake, that's not going to happen. But I want you to think about it. What drew you to this business? What drew you? What do you want to see from it? What do you want to accomplish? So I'm going to tell you that 90% of the time I get the answer of like, what do you want to accomplish with this business? Is people say, I want to help others, right? They want to help others. They, had a great product experience and they want to share them. That's a very, very common thing. And I love that because it just shows how beautiful humanity is, that they have this desire to help others. And I love that. And sometimes you can tell it's a big burning desire. And so with those people, I definitely am like, man, that is beautiful. And I love that this is a vehicle for us to help so many people. This is a wonderful vehicle for you to be able to walk out and have, the ability to pour into people's lives that you wouldn't have been able to, normally. And so that's one thing that we get, I get a lot, is the desire to help others, but I like to take it a little further. Okay, but how can this help you? So many people want to help others, and we got that. We're going to do that. But how can this help you? What does that look like for you? And you guys, I hope you're thinking this through. What are your dreams, right? What would you like to accomplish through this? How, and it could be, how does an extra $500 to $1,000, what would that look like? How would that change your life, right? Because a lot of people, that's where they're at. They're like, man, an extra 500 to 1,000. And we're so good at doing that here, right? We know that anybody can come in and we can help them get to that 500 to 1,000. And sometimes that's where we stay, is what does that look like? But sometimes you'll start to talk to somebody and they'll say, man, I really need to replace an income. For me, it was like, I really need to bring my husband home. I need him to not, be killing his body anymore. Right. Those are those whys. Like I talked to a lady a couple months ago, and she had this vision for this charity to help women through getting them clothes. And it was like, you could tell that's what lit her soul on fire. But you know what she didn't have? The finances to accomplish it. And so I say this quite a bit, but I'm going to say this to you guys, and I want you to put this in your back pocket for you and for other people. Okay. Network marketing might not be your calling. Okay. Bear with me. It might not be what you are called to do, your ultimate purpose, right? But it is the very thing that will fund that calling. It's the very thing that can put power and finances behind it. So here's the thing. If you feel called to, dedicate a bunch of time into a ministry, or, say you feel called to, play music, or, just whatever it is, like whatever your passion is, here's the thing. Like, usually those things are not going to just have money falling on you, right? Maybe you have this desire to, open up a certain type of business, but guess what? Like that, the money just doesn't come from nowhere. And so the network marketing so often, and I've seen this, and I always share about my faith. You don't share the same faith, no big deal, right? We're room for everybody here. But I do go back to God, because I know that God has put in our hearts something that we are meant to do. Something that we are meant to do, whether it's, creating a business, whether it's, pouring into people's lives, whether it's uplifting one another, whatever it is. Like, there's so many things that it's like in our hearts, we know that this is what we're created to do. And network marketing funds that. It is a wonderful vehicle to put finances into that. My husband, he loves to help lead worship at the church, right? He loves to do that. It's ministry for music has been a big deal for him. And, there were years he couldn't, because he was working so hard. There was so many, there was so many hours that he was doing. The expenditures was out of, the physical expenditure, time expenditure. It didn't make it possible. So he was able, as the finances came in with this, it opened it up so he can serve. Right? So there's so many different things that it will fund. So I want you guys to really think about what your calling is, and think about how this could help. How could this 500 to 1,000 help? or maybe you need to bring, someone home. Maybe you need to retire, replace an income. What does that look like for you? And how does that feel? How does that feel? And really visualize what that looks like, you guys. One woman I talked to not too long ago, it was, my kids are getting older. They're going to graduate in a few years. I feel like I don't get to spend time with them and I just want to be there. Or another one was like, I want to have a home that my family can come home to, that's big enough for my family to come home to. You start to talk about these things and it will well up this sense of, in your heart, because you're stepping into and you're speaking about something that you're called to do. So anyway, I like to put the focus on that and to find out what people want. And then, you know what, you guys, we're going to get you there. And when you get there, we're going to celebrate together. Community is so important. And so creating a sense of community as you're launching someone or you're launching yourself, you heard Chris and I talking. I mean, he's become one of my dearest friends from, since I've been here. And it's one of those things where when we help people see that they are welcome at our table, that we have this sense of community for them. And like I said, this is something that you as leaders on here need to create, right? And we got it here at this company. And for those of you that are just watching, and this is, one of your training calls, like it's here for you. This is a place where the community will rally around you. We will hold your hand through the process because we want to be there when you're celebrating those wins, when you're celebrating that home that's going to have the great big table with your family around it, right? Or the new truck that you want to buy, or, or the fact that you can take time off work and spend less time off work so you can pour into what your calling is, right? We're going to celebrate that with you. And when you're happy crying, we're going to be happy crying with you. And that is something that's so beautiful. And so when someone comes in and when you come in, right, to put that focus on not just this is how you do it, but this is what it feels like. And yes, it is totally possible for you. And I'm speaking to each one of you guys. It is totally possible for you to set your family and yourself completely financially free. And don't ever, ever for 1 second think this isn't for you. Okay. Because it truly is for everybody if they go and they do the thing, the simple system. And whether that's, oh man, I just need that $500 a month, or if you're like, I want freedom money, right? And you know what freedom money is? Freedom money is Judy. You know what I mean? It's Ricky, it's Chris. It's like that ability to live your life the way that, on your terms, right? And for me, we've experienced freedom money here. And that's, I get to follow God's will for my life, not a boss. I get to jump into what he calls me to do versus, well, I want to do this, but I can't because I have time constraints, right? I can't. And so freedom money is beautiful too. So whatever it is that you're wanting, right, it is here for you. And I don't want any of you to think for a second, well, oh, she can do it, but I can't. When I first came in this industry, you guys, that was probably the biggest thing that slowed me down is I saw success. I saw success and I knew it was possible, but I didn't think it was for me. I didn't think that it was something that I could obtain. I'm like, that's for the other girl, right? That's for the person that has the polished social media, which right now mine looks pretty good, but it was pretty shaky. When I came in, it was like, I've been in this industry for 8 years. Trust me, things were not polished back when I started. And they don't need to be. They really don't need to be. So, but I kept finding ways and reasons why it wasn't for me. And then one day I remember looking around and, looking at these people that had succeeded and listening to them. And I'm like, well, she can do it. Like, why not me? Right? Why can't I? And so here's the thing, you guys, wherever you are with a business, if you see somebody that is accomplishing something you want, if they can do it, why not you? The thing is, you can. And this company in particular provides everything in a way that you really can. And that's why I'm here. I am here because I know that this company can grab down, like reach up and help people truly have success and win in this industry. Not all companies are like that. Okay, guys, I've been in a few. And that was one of my biggest things is that I felt like, the average person couldn't come in and do that 500 to 1,000 a month, right? That I didn't have the ability as a leader to go like this. I'd be like, well, if you got everything, all your ducks in a row, we might be able to help you here. All you got to do is the simple system. Show up consistently, right? And really have a heart for really helping other people do the same. And it's going to happen for you. Okay. Biggest things, mindset, belief, right? This is the last thing I'm going to say on this before I go over to the system, which is going to take me way less time. Because again, pretty soon it'd be like, wah, 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 if you go too far into it, right? But and I lost my train of thought because I went in my little Charlie Brown mode. But anyway, so it was good too. We'll just come back to it then. So then I guess I'll just go ahead and I'll go into the system, because your mindset, like I said, is the most important thing. It's the most powerful thing. If you believe it's going to drive you forward. Oh, here it was. I knew it would come. Okay. So one of the biggest problems in network marketing, right? One of the biggest issues that people have is not that they don't do it right. It's they start and they stop. Okay. They'll like go real heavy. They're like, okay, I'm going to do this business, and they'll like do a lot of work. And then all of a sudden they're like, you know what? So-and-so said, no, I'm not getting traction on what I'm doing. Life's coming up. And then they just kind of, you know what I mean? They kind of disappear for a little bit. And then all of a sudden they realize, man, I still have these dreams in my heart. I still feel called to do this, and I want to keep doing it. Right. And so then they'll jump back in, but then they don't, like, the ball doesn't get rolling. And they're like, well, why? Well, it's because you can't ever get momentum if you like start and stop over and over again. Like, you guys, it cannot happen. And so if you were just to like go like, you know, it would go like this, but you're going, you know what I mean? You have to be consistent with your business. And this is where mindset comes in. This is why you need to focus on your why. You need to focus on what that is that you wanted when you came in, right? And that's why I wanted you guys to think about it. Why are you doing this? What is your calling? What do you want to accomplish? You know, for me, when I came in, it was getting gas and diapers, and it changed to, you know, staying home with my babies, and it was, you know, retiring my husband, and it was building, you know, it was just like, and then really this innate passion to pour into other men and women, and to be that person to like lift them up. I'm like, let's go live our best lives together, right? That just fires me up. But I didn't know that when I started. But you need to focus on what it is. For me, it got to the place where I was like, I am doing this, when I knew that my husband's body was hurting, and I knew that he was working his tail off, and we never got to see him, and my kids were sad. That was a pivotal shift for me, where I stopped starting and stopping because I didn't want to bring him home. I needed to bring him home. I needed him, you know, and I can tell you now, like, we did have the ability to go ahead and retire him, although he is now just doing work that he loves and isn't strenuous on his body, because he still likes, you know, the industry. So anyway, the construction industry. So what you need to do is really focus on what that is that drives you, because you're here for a reason, and you need to not forget that. And anytime you feel like checking out and you feel like stopping, remember what I said, that the start and stop is what kills your business. You'll never get it going if you do that. I did that for 3 years and did not grow. And when I'm like, no, I'm doing the thing, and I stopped stopping, that's when I saw success. So you guys remember that. And then anytime you feel like you want to quit, you need to remember why you're here. And you need to really dig deep into that, because it's so important. It's the driver. Motivation, your excitement, like, it's like, oh my gosh, it's new, I'm excited. That only lasts for so long. You need to figure out how to be self-motivated, not just the, oh, you know, we got a new product, I'm super excited, or, you know, you have to dig deep and be like, no, what happens if I don't do this? Okay. And I'm stealing this from a woman called Danielle Degato. I love her as far as just like her, you know, insight into network marketing, right? But she has a quote that gave me chills. And this quote is, who loses if I don't win? Let's think about that, guys. Who loses if you don't win? Might be your children, might be your spouse, could be the future people who are going to be on your team, and you're going to help change their lives. There are so many different things. It could be the family that you're going to help because of the blessings that come, the abundance of finances that come. It could be, you know, your church. It could be a charity. It could, I mean, it's endless. It's endless. But who loses if you don't win? You guys, it's so much bigger than ourselves. So much bigger than that, because we are here to make impact. We are created to make impact, and you're called here to make an impact. So it's really important that you guys don't let the start stop thing happen. Okay, they got it. Okay. And that you truly genuinely focus, right, on where you're going and what this is going to accomplish for you. And you guys, it will. If you don't start and stop, it will. If you're consistent, it will. Okay. So now that we've done the mindset talk, right? Because that is the most important part, because that's what's going to drive you when you're not feeling like doing it. It's going to drive you when you have, 36 rejections and you're like, nobody wants this, or you have somebody who, stops their auto ship, whatever it is that will derail you. Or what if you have a wing clipper, somebody who says, oh, that's one of those things. That's one of those things. And, you shouldn't do that. Are those even legal? Right. We've heard it, which is funny because I feel like when I first looked at this industry, I was like, okay, I'm real desperate. I live in the middle of nowhere and I don't have enough money to put gas on my tank. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this, but I'm not even sure it's real. Like I remember feeling like that. So I understand it when people say that, but here's the thing. Wing clippers are going to come and you have a choice. Are you going to let them? You going to let them cut your wings off? Are you going to go ahead and allow them to not just steal your dreams, but the impact that you're going to make? It's way too big for that. And so you guys have to tune out those people. You need to block those people because what you have in front of you is far too important to allow the wing clippers any part in your life. Okay, you guys, don't let that happen. Those are small people with small opinions. Okay. They should not be able to derail your destiny. Just say no to them. Okay. And if you need a pep talk, come to your, go to your upline, go to somebody and just be like, okay, let's pour some belief into me right now. Cause I've had people trying to clip my wings. And you know what? Your upline, your team, your family, this culture, we're going to help you fly. Okay. So you need to stay close to the culture because that's what we're here for. Okay. System. Ready, guys? I break it down super simple. This part's like 5 minutes, okay? Because I feel like that's enough. Everything that we have is available for you in the team pages. It's there, and your upline can be there. They can walk you through it. I hold my people's hand. I think it's really important. Not forever though, guys. I will kick you out of the nest. But as somebody's brand new and they're figuring this out, I like to go ahead and walk them through it so they understand what to do. And not just be like, here's a training, see ya, good luck, right? We need to be there for our people and help them launch right. And then, like I said earlier, kick them out of the nest because you can't stay there. You got to start to do it on your own. Okay, 3 things that I always cover when I launch someone. So again, if this is your training, you're, getting started training, here's the 3 things you got to do. 1, everybody has a customer testimony group. Okay. That's the group with all of the before and afters and the people that are talking about all the incredible things that have, happened from these products. Okay. Plug people into that. Plug them in. One of the biggest tragedies that I see is that we have this tool that pretty much does the work for us, and we're not consistently putting people in there. It's like you have something that's going to do it for you and you're not using it. So you guys, like I challenge anyone who's new, and if we've been there for a while, like, hello, I challenge you guys to start adding people to your customer testimony group. I am an admin in ours, and I can tell you, I always know when somebody's about to rank up. I can tell you almost 100% of the time who's going to rank up because I see them adding a ton of people to that group. That's simple. I know that works because I always see the fruit from it. Think of it like seeds. Okay. If you have a garden and you put like 4 seeds in there, you're not going to get, they could be great seeds, you guys, but you're not going to get a great big harvest from it. Okay. You need to plant a lot of seeds in that garden. Okay. Those groups are like the best soil ever because it has so much impact. So make sure that you are consistently putting people in there. Don't miss this tool. Like I have people who have joined who literally don't do much else than put people in that group, but they're able to get that $500 to $1,000 a month by being consistent about getting people in there. And by, making sure that they do the follow-up and they give them their link, but they do a lot of it. Okay. Network marketing is in one way a numbers game. Now it's a people's game too. Okay. It's all about people, but at the same time, the more people you talk to, the more people you share that with, the more that are going to want it. And they're going to, purchase from you and potentially join you. Okay. So make sure you're utilizing those groups. Make sure that you get them in the groups. Don't just dump them. Don't be like, okay, I'm going to put 100 friends in the group. We don't do that. You need to have the conversations with people so that they know what they're, where they're going, right? Usually it's because you've talked about what these products have done for you, what the business has done for you, and then they're interested. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to get them in that group, or maybe you're in people's inboxes, making conversations But the thing is, however you do it, get people in the group. I like to tag them in posts. The reason I do that is because people sometimes I don't even know where to look. So say I have somebody who I was chatting with, they're dealing with, issues with postpartum weight loss. Okay. I have a post in our group dealing with that. And I know that there's quite a few of them. So I'll tag in one of those and then I'll message them after, they've been in the group, for me, 12, 24 hours, something like that. Hey, did you have a chance to check out the group? What do you think? Right? What do you think about this? And so, did you love that story? I mean, he's always said, he'll agree with what they said. And I love this because somebody will say, oh man, I loved, how so-and-so was able to lose all this weight. And, because I'm like, yeah, isn't that amazing? Right? You get excited, but what you're doing is you're edifying their belief as you are backing what they like about it. Okay. So, I'm not going to go too much over the script right now, but we do keep it really simple when we are in conversation. I always say we're network marketers because we network. And so that's important. You're building friendships. But when you actually go to talk about the product, I don't sit there and I don't give a long list of ingredients. I don't sit there and talk about everything that this is. I keep it real simple. I'm like, hey, have you heard about the happy coffee everyone's talking about? And honestly, now we got other products and I'm, a lot of my people are interested in shakes. So I'll even say, hey, have you heard of the happy co that everyone's talking about? Right. And you know what? I don't wait for an answer. I don't even wait for an answer. I'm like, you know what? I got to send you an invite. You got to check this group out with these incredible testimonies. It helped me lose weight, gave me energy, and it pulled me out of this pit of depression. You got to look at it for yourself. It's so simple. It's so simple. That's pretty much what I say, you guys. And, the scripts, the scripts are there for you, to just kind of read off of them. But the truth is people can tell my excitement. I like to do voice messages because obviously they can tell I'm like super excited about this group. And I don't say, hey, would you like an invite? And no. I am sending you an invite, right? You posture in that way of like, I'm so excited. I am sending you this invite so you can check this out. You're going to love it. Okay. Because you don't want to give people the option to say, no, it's an invite though. You're not just dumping them in a group. They have to accept the invite. So there is zero, in my opinion, there's zero ways. I've never had anyone get mad at me for saying, hey, I'm sending you an invite and I send it to them. So it's, in my opinion, very easy. It's really great verbiage. Go ahead, get people in there and then follow up. Right. So that's the first one. That's the longest one. Okay. Is add people to the groups. Utilize those groups like crazy, make it a personal goal to get, I don't know, if you could get 5 people in there a day, you would be rolling. Okay, you guys, I mark my words. You'll be messaging me like, oh my gosh, it works. All I did is get 5 people in that group a day consistently for a month and my business is booming. It will happen. Okay. Make sure you send them the link though. Make sure you do that part of it too. Okay. So the second thing is plugging into your community. Every single one of you right now is doing it right now. We're hanging out, right? Like, I don't know how many people on here, but I got, 50 of my new best friends on here. Like, this is how we connect. This is how we connect. A lot of teams have, coffee type chats where they're, getting together and they're sharing their stories. I know we have Mindset Monday, you guys, that is powerful. If you're not getting on Mindset Monday, you do it because it's going to help build your belief, but also that sense of community. You got to plug into what we have here. Do not be an island. If you're out there thinking you're going to do it all by yourself, what happens when you need a boost, right? What happens when, you need to have that belief instilled in you? You've got to connect into the community. And you guys, some of my best friends have been made here. Don't miss out on that. Don't do it. And so it's our job to plug into the community when we're new, and then to help be a part of the community when we've been here for a while. So make sure that you're getting involved and that you're being a part of it. And so that's the second thing. And real quick, my last thing I want to say on that, obviously you don't have to do all of the things, right? I don't want you to feel overwhelmed, but you got to at least be in something once a week, because that's your connection. It's like a lifeline. And for me, I don't want to be salesy. Okay. I've always I don't want to be the girl that's all spammy and salesy, but I can tell you that when I'm on the calls, when I'm hearing the excitement, when I'm hearing about the lives changed, when I'm hearing these testimonies where these people have had these product experiences that bring me to tears, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not salesy when I tell people about it. I'm excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe what this did for someone. Can you believe it? It's like when you go to a restaurant and it's so delicious, and you tell all your friends, they don't feel like you're selling them on the restaurant. They can just tell you're genuinely excited because you had the best teriyaki chicken you've had in years, right? It's that kind of thing. It comes naturally. It's organic sharing, not sales. Does that make sense? You get that by plugging in. You got to plug in, you guys. Okay, so those are the first two. Third thing, sampling. Oh my goodness, we built our businesses on sampling, you guys. For those of us that are here and we've been here a while and we've had a lot of success, I promise you there's been sampling that has gone on. And I feel like, and maybe this isn't your team, but I was just thinking about that. I sent out some samples yesterday. I'm like, I haven't been doing this lately. And it's so powerful because it's getting the product in people's hands that wouldn't have tried it otherwise. Okay, take note of that. Wouldn't have tried it otherwise. I always lead with the 30-day. We got a money, 30-day money back guarantee. They have nothing to risk, nothing to lose by trying that. But I always lead with that because here's the deal. A sample might blow their mind. But for me, I didn't feel it till day 6. My whoa experience wasn't till day 6. And oh my gosh, I would have missed so much if I only had a sample, right? I would have missed the fact that this would have helped me lose the weight, the postpartum weight that was hanging over me, right? I would have lost the fact that, I basically set our family financially free, and that it pulled me out of, you guys, the worst depression of my life if I only had a 2-day sample. So I always lead with the 30 days so that people can truly experience this. With that said, I have had people that didn't want to purchase this, but I knew it could make an impact on them. And I sent them a sample, and guess what? 45 minutes after they took the sample, they're like, I don't just want to take this. I want to join this company. So you have to. Yeah, Marcy's saying she was shook from the first cup. Like, there are so many people that feel it like that. And I think, we have other products, not just the coffee, but we're getting unwind sticks. Oh my goodness, to give people the gift of sleep. Okay, that unwind stuff is magic. You better believe I'm going to be sampling the heck out of that because so many people struggle with sleep, and we can send them something. I'm pretty sure the unwind is going to work for everybody first time, right? So we have the ability to sample that. It's just these products have impact. So if people are not biting, if people, or say there are people that like you want to connect with them, but you don't want to send them a weird hey girl message like, hey girl, we haven't talked since high school. Would you like to try 30 days of this product? Like that doesn't work. Okay. I mean, maybe it does, but usually when I get those messages, I'm like, don't do that. But if you message someone, hey, oh my gosh, I was thinking about you and I have a gift. I have a gift for you. What's your address? Like, promise, no strings attached. I want you to check this out. That is a way that you can build rapport with people. I mean, who doesn't like something for free? Sometimes people are like, no, thank you. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Because I want to give it to somebody who's actually going to take it, right? But that is a way that you can reach in to other people who aren't, they're not jumping in, they're not ordering. And here's the thing is we've all got a warm market of people that are going to be like, yeah, I want to try that. But for us to reach out of that a little bit, we gotta find ways to do it. And sampling is a really powerful way to do it. Now, here's the thing though. I don't want you guys getting samples and passing them out like Oprah. Here's one for you, one for you. Like, no. You guys got to be strategic. So what you need to do with those samples is one, be like, I want to send you a gift, but I got to make sure you're going to take it. Because we don't want to send product that's going to sit on somebody's countertop. Now, there's a girl on my team who I think it sat on her fridge for 6 months. And then one day she's like, okay, I'm having a bad day. I think I got that on the top of the fridge, and she took it. Now she's a part of her team and a total rock star. But, a lot of times you want to be like, I need you to take this. I'm going to send it to you. And then make sure that they are in your testimony group. Because if somebody gets a baggie of stuff and they're like, what do I do with this? They're not going to know. So you have to make sure that they're in that testimony group, and you've tagged them in posts that explain what this does. You help them understand what it does. You help them know the impact. They're going to get excited. They're going to be waiting for the mail to come so they can get this and try it because they know the impact that it's making in other people's lives. One of the biggest things that I see is people are like, oh, sampling's not working. It's not working. I've given so many, and but have you done it right? Have you made sure that they're willing to take it? Said, hey, if I send this to you, you're going to take it. Have you put them in the group? Have you got them excited about it? Did you say, I always say, message me when you get it. I'm going to go over the tips and tricks with you because I want them to be in contact with me so I can walk them through it. Super, super important. Anyway, my friends, if you do that, your sampling experience will be significantly better, and do it. Sample, get the product in people's hands. Sampling too, like, I've been with Ricky at a restaurant before, and I've seen him, he's like sampling the waitress, right? Like, I love that. I decided to, copy him, and I just, we were at a hotel recently, and, we were talking to somebody in the pool. We were, swimming, we were talking in the pool, and I got to sample them. Those aren't people that are generally, they don't know who I am. They generally aren't going to just jump in with a 30 days as much as I'd like them to. So I sampled, got their Facebook information, we're Facebook friends. And that is how I was able to, to go ahead and make sure that I'm sharing that with people. So anyway, that's it, guys. Add them to your testimony group and use it. Second, make sure that you plug into the community. It's huge, promise you. And honestly, everyone that I have on my team that has been successful has done it while plugging in. Got to do it. Okay. And then third, strategic sampling. That's it. That's the system. And I actually went way longer than normal. Normally I even say less than that, but the truth is, this is a training call. So I wanted to make sure you had the details, but those are the 3 things that you need to do on a consistent basis to be successful. Okay. And on a last note, we were talking about the start, stop. You do not have to spend hours and hours and hours doing this a day, but you have to be consistent. You need to show up regularly, because here's the thing is that people need to see you as consistent, because here's the thing, that builds trust with them, and people will they're going to want to either buy from or join people that are consistent, right? Because that gives them that sense of like, okay, you're committed to this. So don't just like show up on your social media or talking to people, however you build your business, and then just like disappear. You got to do it. There is a book, and I always like to kind of end with this and share this book. It's called The Compound Effect. And so probably most of you have heard this because I talk about it a lot, but it made an impact to me. And here is what it is. It's at the beginning of this book. They ask you, would you rather have $1 million, or would you rather have a penny that doubles every day for a month? Okay. Meaning like one day it's, 1 cent, day 2, it's 2, day 3, it's 4, day 5, it's 8 cents. Okay. So most people are going to say, unless they know the answer, most people are going to say, I want $1 million. You kidding? I don't want that penny. But if you are to actually do the math, and you're going to go through and you're like a penny that doubles per day, you are still in the hole, like on day 28. Like the $1 million would have been the right choice. Might have been day 27. So you're just sitting there like, man, I should have taken $1 million. Why did I do the penny? But by day 30 of that month, it is far, far greater than the $1 million. One penny a day that doubles is so much greater than that $1 million, because what it is that it's that consistent daily thing. And that's just like our businesses, you guys. Every single day, be consistent, show up and do the thing. You can do your business in 30 minutes a day if it's like directed and very focused and you're actually doing, income producing activity. You don't have to spend hours and hours and hours. When I was doing my business and it was not growing, it was that I would spend, oh my gosh, I'm going to go hot and heavy for like a week. And then I disappear for 3. Like, no, you have to be consistent, because that is what will grow it. And you're not going to burn out. If you're doing the thing every single day, right? A daily method of, operation, which is basically, making sure you're, reaching out to people and, building that connection, adding people to the group, right? Whatever that looks like for you, but you're doing it daily, that will grow your business so much more than the in and out part of it. Okay. So anyway, you guys, I hope this has been of value. I could probably talk for another 4 hours on all of this, but it won't, because we're trying to keep it simple, right? And I don't want to turn into that wah, wah, wah voice in your head, right? I want you guys to actually get something from this. I hope you retain it. I hope you guys are going to focus even more on why are you here? What kind of impact you're going to make, and who's going to lose if you don't win. Okay. So focus on all that. All right, you guys, I love all of you so much. I'm honored to have been here with you today, and I hope you guys have a great Saturday. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Karlie.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you, Karlie.
Awesome job. Thank you.
Thanks a
you.
lot, Karlie. Thank you so much. It was awesome. Excellent, excellent training.
Thank you, Karlie.
Thank you, Karlie.
Good girl.